one. Hello.
It's like I have two elves in my ears singing the like theme.
The
music.
theme tune.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime
You
it goes
both are
live,
like,
it's myself and Stephanie being like.
I'm like, what the fuck's happening, man? I'm like, is there feedback in my
You love
microphone?
it. You love it.
Listen to the music. Join
Okay.
us.
Surround
I
sound.
love it.
Okay, that's right.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, sure, yeah. Why,
Dolby
yeah, surround.
Digital.
Dolby Digital. Fuck that shit. It's THX all the way. That's the only way I
yes.
roll.
True.
Except they kind of like, movie theater wise, you don't find.
Yeah,
too
sure.
many of
Yeah.
those
And
theaters
now in
anymore.
IMAX.
Oh.
There we
Oh
go.
really? Oh yeah, in IMAX. Yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, because you know what I used to love? I miss like Dolby Digital started doing it too, where they had the they have like an animation like to like
Yeah.
show off their sound, right? Remember Dolby used to be like the raindrops, like. Dunk, dunk,
Oh my
dunk,
gosh,
and then
yes,
the
that was
ripple,
so
and then,
good.
like, yeah. But THX had the original one. It was like.
That was great.
Oh my
You know,
God.
like,
Always
the
Yes.
scared me as a
and,
child.
like reverb the whole, and you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, you would
Like,
get so
turning
excited.
down the remote
I
as a
feel you.
kid.
I
was
remember
like,
that actually.
This sound is amazing. A funny story, little tangent. Oh, by the way, welcome to Trailer Talk. We're gonna go off on
Yes.
a tangent about THX because we were just talking about it before we got on. But me and my brother used to go. We used to be big like kind of audio nerds back in the day. There used to be this little store called Ovation in Lexington, Kentucky, where I grew up, and it used to be this like kind of like a homegrown audio shop, like high end audio kind of. It was where you would like go and be like, remember when LaserDisc came out and they had like the first LaserDisc player like in the state, that you could like see, and they had like big screens, and they had like these little audio or like these rooms. They were like soundproof where you could walk in. They had like a big TV. They had the LaserDisc set up, and they had the surround sound all set up. So we would just go there, and they would always be playing like Star Wars or Indiana Jones on the like LaserDisc version, or like some awesome movie. And we're like, oh yeah, cool. And I remember when the THX came out with like their home theater system, and we're like, we're gonna go to Ovation, they have it, we're gonna watch it, and we're like, surely they're gonna put on like Empire Strikes Back or like Temple of Doom or like something dope. We walk in and they're playing, the guy's playing The Fugitive, like with like Harrison Ford's The Fugitive. We're like, and he's like, no, you guys don't understand the sound. You gotta listen. There's a part where like the train wreck. I don't know if you guys see The Fugitive.
No.
You have?
Yeah.
No.
Possibly,
Go
actually.
watch
I've
it.
seen
Harrison
bits,
Ford.
yeah.
It's actually a fucking good
good.
movie. We're gonna search every outhouse, part house, dog house, whatever. There's the famous Tommy Lee Jones
Good to know.
dialogue. It's great. Anyway, he's like, you got to listen for the chains. We're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like when Harrison Ford's running, he's wearing chains away from the train. The only way you would hear him was with THX sound. And he turns it on. It's like full blast. And when me and my brother are like watching, and we're like, yeah, well, you heard the chains. And we're like, we're just staring at this guy. Like, out of all the fucking movies that
You
you
could've
could
picked
have
one.
Yeah.
you picked The Fugitive so I could hear Harrison Ford's like chains.
Breathing.
I'm like, listen, buddy. Yeah, I was like, listen, we gotta have a conversation. I don't know if you're doing this right on the cell. Not that I was gonna buy this anyway. It's like $1 bazillion, and but you don't know anything. Anyway, that's my little random story tangent. It was not as funny as I was hoping it would be, but anyway.
Hey man,
welcome
I
everybody.
would watch and listen for the chains and The Fugitive.
Yeah.
You should go home.
I'll go-
Everybody, go home. Turn
Crank
on
up
the
the
Fugitive,
volume.
Oh, okay.
Crank up the fucking volume on your surround sound, and if you can hear Harrison Ford's like chains that he's wearing, like what do you call them, like cuffs, like he's wearing. On his
Oh,
feet.
yeah.
Oh
What
yeah,
do
yes,
you
yeah,
call
yeah.
them? Chains, like handcuff chains or whatever the fuck they're called. Listen for the chains in the train wreck scene, because there's like explosions and trains crashing, but you can hear his chains on his feet. It's amazing. God,
I would
dude,
love to
check
kind of
this
have like a
out.
big massive like THX or Dolby or whatever surround sound, and then just play rain sounds, like thunderstorm sounds.
Yes.
Would
That'd be
be pretty
great.
cool.
Little ASMR brain be like, the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's raining outside.
I know.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no, it's the middle of summer. But I want to feel cold and
Turn
rainy,
on the rain
goddammit.
sound.
Yeah.
You live in Ireland. It's rainy all the time.
It's
You
that
just
fact.
walk outside.
Facts, bro. Yeah, true. That's why I want it so much.
Man, we
Okay, I'm
gotta-
too accustomed to it. I get withdrawals.
You're like, when it's sunny out, I don't like it.
Yeah, I hate it. Fuck you, sun.
Okay. Okay, my anxiety's down.
Man, the
We're
sun gives you
good.
cancer. You know what I mean? Rain. What does rain give you? Nothing.
Nothing.
Fucking
What does
sun.
rain give you? I don't know. I mean, water.
gives you everything. You know,
sustenance,
it gives you
crops,
life.
crops,
Yes.
life. Yeah.
Like sun does that too,
What
okay,
does rain
but just
do?
like more
I don't know,
intensely.
just about everything.
Yeah.
Uh,
Rain's the best.
that's funny. Shackles. Thank you, Maria.
Shackles,
and,
very good. Yeah.
Shackles.
Yes.
That's what they're called. Chain.
That's
I'm
what-
calling them chains because that's what the guy called them. Listen for the chains. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? I don't want to hear chains. I want to hear TIE fighters going by in surround sound. Like, what is your problem, dude?
Fair.
Yeah.
Anyway, that guy right now, he's probably like listening to this and he's like, that fucker. If only he understood my master plan about the chains. He would have bought the THX.
He's
system.
one of
I
those
would've
people that
been
watches
rich.
The Fugitive like biannually, like twice a year.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
an event. Everybody comes over.
It's an.
There's like popcorn involved. And then in that
It's
moment,
like,
they're like, shh,
guys,
shh,
guys,
shh,
guys.
guys. Here it is.
Here it is.
Yeah. You know? He's one of those
Did you
guys.
hear it? What are we listening for? The train? The train? No, the chains, man. You gotta hear the
Shackles,
chains.
bro.
The shackles,
Did you hear the
bro.
wind running through the shackles, the
Fuck.
chains? Did you
Yes,
hear that
so
too?
good.
It was
so good.
beautiful, like wind chimes.
It's like one of those
we
moments
have
when
two
people
great-
watch like The Return of the King and then like Aragorn kicks the helmet and
yeah.
everyone's like, oh, this moment.
The-
Even though you're with
the toe.
people who all know. Who all
No,
know.
they've totally.
Every single time you have to say it.
Yes.
That's the
That's the
that's not acting. That's real, dude. That's
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
That's real pain.
So good.
He's crying because Frodo. No, dude. He broke his toe. That's
Yeah,
why. He
Yeah.
he broke his toe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's real life, folks. But we have two great movies, and there'll probably be some broken toes. And the Kraven the Hunter trailer dropped.
Ooh.
Sure.
Spider-Man's ultimate villain. And then we got a little surprise. I don't know if I want to spoil it for you guys. Did I?
I
didn't-
actually
you
did.
read
I
the
didn't
show
look
notes?
up anything for this either. I was like, you know what?
Okay.
I'm gonna trust you on this, and
Alright.
yeah, let's just go in blind with that
Yeah,
one.
we
Honestly,
got a little surprise. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're watching this on YouTube, you probably already read the title and you probably know. But I'm gonna for those live and you haven't seen it yet.
True.
Surprise trailer 2 coming at you hot.
Yes.
But beforehand, I wanted
two
just
tires.
to talk about. I don't know if you guys saw that the Apple Vision Pro got announced.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to get your like real quick thoughts. I was kind of at first I was underwhelmed, but the more I read about it, I'm kind of blown away, and I'm just kind of wondering where your head's at. Like, do you see a future for this, or do you think like the meta VR world is a better place, or this idea of spatial computing and what they're touting is something real? I mean, do you guys have any thoughts on Apple's vision
Vision.
and vision?
It's crazy expensive though, right? Like somebody had
Oh, yeah.
posted- was it
It's
like $4,000 or
ridiculous.
something?
Yeah,
$4,000?
yeah,
Yeah.
with taxes it'll be like 4K. Yeah.
Like, but you can get the Oculus Quest 2 for $300. I'm a big fan of VR. I actually really like VR. I enjoy playing VR and like experiencing it. I pretty much use that every other day. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
Who is this Vision Pro for? Like, who is that target audience? I'm assuming, I can only assume, that it's some kind of like director or big boss CEO or something like that, where they're like, I need to have everything in front of me at all times. Like Tony Stark, like, hey, I'm on a call with you, and I'm on a call with you, and I have the projected screen up here, and also I'm playing The Sims. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
Totally.
there's some stuff that needs
That sounds
to be
amazing.
happening.
What you described sounds like heaven.
Listen,
Like,
I
that
think
would
it's
be
a
dope.
good time. I just don't think
Yeah.
that's a market for me. I think it looked really interesting. I think the part of the advert that I liked was that you could take it on board or like an airplane. I thought that was kind of cool
airplane.
for
Yeah.
travel. I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
shit, that I mean,
All right,
that's
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I'm all right
yeah.
with this.
That'd be.
But ultimately, I'm like, I don't know who this is for. It's far too expensive. I don't see the point in computing virtually in front of you. Like, I like the fact that you can experience like games or videos, movies. I think it would probably really come in handy for. Here's where I thought about the directors. Was like directors' vision stuff where they're like being sent cuts by the editor, and then they're making those notes, but they are also doing something else, or like they're in bed because they're traveling and it's a time zone issue, and they're just like, listen, I'm just gonna throw these on, gonna look at it up at the screen or like on my wall and be like, okay, I don't like that, I don't like this. Actually, let me pinch to zoom that. I want to see this like bigger. Did we fuck up here? Can you see a coffee cup in the background? That kind of thing. I think that looks like cool shit, but I think for the everyday layman, I don't see a use for this. This is
Okay.
my rant about
All right.
Apple Vision Pro. You're welcome.
That's your TED talk.
That's my TikTok.
Stephanie, what do you think?
I mean, I haven't really used like VR too much. I used it one time in college. I went to some event on campus and they had like probably a really cheap like VR headset. But I remember putting it on and I was like, "Oh, this is cool," but I was noticing like all the pixels and then I was like, "Oh, I'm getting nauseous." So I took it off and like I haven't used one since.
Oh, yeah,
And
fair.
so my thing is like I see all this stuff. I love watching videos of like people wearing it, but I don't think I would ever use VR. So then looking at this, I was like, oh, this is cool, but what does it really look like? Like, what does the screen really look like? Because that just looks like something that you've edited in post. Like,
Yeah.
my thing, I don't imagine like pretty soon Apple's going to be having like Apple eye care. Like you're going to have like need to get glasses from Apple because I'm just wondering like what is this going to do to your brain? What is this going to do to your eyes? Like are you going to get headaches
Gonna be
like all the time?
brainwashed?
Like are you going to have migraines? Are you going
okay,
to have really
migraines.
poor like eyesight? Like it's
Yeah.
just it's a lot coming and like everything in the commercial was so bright and so cool to look at. But like there's one thing that they were like watching a movie, but it's like if you don't like what's around you, you can change the scenery. I'm like, but then that's distracting because I'm watching the movie. I'm like, oh, look at the sunset. Oh, wait, something just happened. Like, and then you have to rewind. Like for me, like I always liked it. It's fiction, but like I feel like Black Mirror did it best. Like I really like that they just had like a little like thing that you put on the side of your head, or like
yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel like in
Horizon Zero
her
Dawn
they had
style.
like or I forget what they did in her. I don't know if it was glasses. I forget what they did, but they had something
Her
like
was just
similar.
an audio thing.
Was it just an audio thing? Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that kind of stuff I think is interesting. I don't know, like visual, it's hard for me to grasp because like I like having that separation.
Yeah.
And if it's too much technical, it's like planes that could be windowless, like, and then they just have like screens. I'm like, I hate that idea. Like, I need,
Oh, okay. You need,
Yeah.
you need to see the outside.
I need the
to
window.
know
I
it's
need to
real.
see the
You
outside.
made a good point though about the nausea, because I think like that is a big thing to combat with VR. A lot of people can't actually use VR
Yeah.
due to the fact that they get nauseous. So
Yeah,
I think that would
yeah.
be a big hurdle for Apple. And also like
Yeah.
I have the Oculus Quest 2. I absolutely love it. I love all that. I have my PlayStation 1. I don't have PlayStation 2 VR, but I have PlayStation VR and I have my Oculus. And I absolutely love them. But like wearing a big fucking thing on your head is uncomfortable after a certain time. So that's
Yeah.
also something that they are going to have to factor in as well. Like who wants to sit
Yeah.
there for 8 hours plus with this thing on their face
Right.
in a virtual reality so that they can have computer right in front of them? Like wasn't there a big movement recently 2022 2023 that was like, hey, we're gonna we're gonna introduce like screen time percentage on your phones so that you can understand how much you're on the screens, and maybe you should go outside and touch grass, bestie. And now they're like, hey, here's a screen attached to your eyes.
Have
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, well, I want to
Life
make
comes
the,
at you
the
fast.
clear distinction. I think the one thing that I think everybody's confused about this isn't AR, this isn't virtual reality. It's more like augmented reality, right? Like
Yeah.
right. So like it's a little different, right? So like the nauseous thing isn't as you know what I'm saying? Like AR, you can still see in like, okay, this is my table. I see my
Yes,
table.
yeah,
Like,
you
know
can
what
see
I'm saying?
through it,
And now you can go into like a more of a VR world, like Stephanie, you're saying, like, oh, you can
Yeah.
just change the environment around, like when you're on the plane, you just want to like get rid of everything, which is interesting. And I do agree the idea like having something on your face for a long periods of time is probably not ideal, but I do think if anyone's going to make it as comfortable as fuck, it's going to be Apple. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
Like from
yeah.
a quality standpoint. I mean, it's $3,500.
Yeah.
So, like clearly, it's probably probably feels pretty nice, right? Not as clunky as the PSVR and the Oculus. Now, the one thing I'm bullish on it a little bit, in the sense that I haven't tried it, but I've read some pretty interesting reviews on it. And the one thing that has me kind of blown away, and what everybody's saying is like very, very cool. Now, if anybody here has used VR, and I know Stephanie, you said you've used it only a couple times, but I know Pagan, you're pretty into VR. But,
Yeah.
And you know how the tracking in VR is kind of like,
Yeah,
like,
sometimes can
in
be a
the
bit
sense-
yeah.
right, in the sense that like when you move your camera, like the thing tries to move with you, right? Like so it's sort of like, and it's got that like weird like stuttery feel, and that's actually what gives you that nauseous feeling, because spatially, that when I turn my head, that thing actually should have stayed over here.
Yeah.
Right. But it followed me, like, because it feels like it needs to, because it's a UI or something, right? That needs to stay with you in order to. So Apple, they've done something where it feels like it's like Tony Stark. It's like, say I put a screen up and say, like, I want this screen to live over here next to me on my toward my right shoulder on this wall over here. Now, apparently the way they've done the eye tracking and the way they've done the room vision, like the cameras in the room, that thing feels like a locked position. So no matter how you move, that thing never, like, it doesn't jitter. It doesn't like try to like track, like lose tracking. It feels like a tangible, like if you were to put a poster on a wall,
or like a computer monitor.
Yeah, exactly.
Got,
like
right.
it's like a fixed, locked, and it is like grounded. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people are like, that is, no one's ever seen that before, like in that sort of scenario. And so that to me actually feels really cool, because to your point, you could put like a computer monitor on this wall, you could have like Pokemon Go over here, and you could just walk around your room and be like, I'm gonna like, like scroll my Instagram feed over here, and then I'm gonna walk over, like, and it would feel tangible and kind of like you're in the space, but you have these screens and you could just get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? It would be like, oh, bloop bloop, and I don't know, it sounds like, I'm really kind of fascinated. I have a feeling once people start using this thing, it's going to be pretty mind blowing. I'm kind of excited. I don't know why. I'll never pay $3,500 for one. I'm just not that rich. But imagine, like, the first iPhone was stupid fucking expensive.
True.
And eventually that came down to a point where we all actually
Got
it's
one.
still pretty expensive.
They're still fucking expensive, and yet we still all have one. It's crazy.
Still have one. So,
we tolerate it. Yeah.
I don't know, and I do think there is something, like, from a viewing experience, like, if you're, I agree with you, like, I'll probably never, like, wear a PlayStation Vision and watch a movie, and my wife is wearing a PlayStation Vision, like, that seems stupid and weird. Like, if you're in a communal setting and you're trying to watch something, you're both not going to put on Visions, right? Like, that seems dumb. So this feels like something where, like, a travel accessory, like something like a business accessory, or like a business or B2B way to, like, kind of showcase, like, you walk into a showroom, you put this thing on, and, like, you can actually interact with a car or something. That's so I do see a lot of practical uses for it that could be really cool. But yeah, as a home sort of item, like an iPad or something, I don't think it'll have that wide of a reach.
No. And if it wasn't as bulky, I think people would like it. Like, if it looked a little bit more like glasses, like you could, or like you could attach it to your glasses and it turns your glasses that you have. I mean,
I don't mind the design of it. I actually think the design of it looked really cool when it was announced, but then it was just, when I was watching it, I was like, but why? Like, I mean, I would just never use something like that. Like, I would want to use a VR or an AR headset to do other things, and the majority of that is kind of associated now with escapism, right? Because of the VR stuff is all like video games, or it's experiences or documentaries or whatever. Whereas this is like a practical, like Drew was saying, like a practical kind of business setup. Like, you can definitely see like tours happening there, or virtual tours, or architectures who are like, hey, this is the adjustment we were planning for your kitchen. Like, this is what it will look like. Blah, blah. Like, I think that kind of stuff is going to be so good, and it'll be such a selling point for like that market. But I feel like that market is so upscale that it will never reach me. So
does it have a does it have a keyboard, like a keyboard that you can type? Like,
no,
I don't know, like how.
I don't think so. Does it?
I thought that there was like different apps.
You could have a tangible keyboard, and it syncs
could.
Bluetooth, so you could actually like be in front of and type, and it'll like bring it up on the.
I was hoping there was
VR,
like one
AR screen
in the air. I would like to type in the air.
Yeah, and they said too, the review I read, like where you're moving through menus, like the camera's so smart, and it feels super intuitive. Like when you're using, like you could just lay your hand on your knee and just like thumb through, like you're thumbing on your phone, and it tracks like one to one. So like you're not touching anything, but it somehow tracks them. I don't know. It sounded very impressive, and the fact that it's not even coming out for like another like 6 to 8 months, like to the consumer market. Means
that's crazy.
That's just like a beta version. And I don't know. Again, Apple. As much as I kind of, I'm a little bit of a fanboy, but lately they've kind of like, there's a lot of their products I think could use a lot of work. But
fair.
But this feels this feels pretty interesting. I do feel like there's a sense of like a shift, right? Like this feels like everybody else needs to step up their fucking game now. You know what I'm saying? Like when Apple comes in, and like I think we're gonna see like the next iterations of like whatever Meta does or Oculus or PSVR or whatever those new things are. I'm always excited to see like that technology grow, and it'd be kind of cool to see like how everybody steps up their game.
Well, count me intrigued.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to bring that because I think it was kind of an interesting.
It's an interesting one, for sure.
Yeah. And maybe in the future we'll be watching trailer talk in Oculus.
Whoa.
And watching the new Kraven trailer.
Wow. Oh, Kraven.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, Kraven the Hunter. The logline for this Kraven is once you're on his list, there's only one way off.
Oh.
If you can guess which way that is.
Is it to sleep with him?
Yes.
Does he break up with you
Yes.
after, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to text him, hey, can I get off your list? And he's like, yeah, dude, sure.
So he's non-committal.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, a little. Yeah. How do I get on the list? Is that is it VIP or how does it?
You gotta go out, like get yourself some furs, go on outside, butt naked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Butt naked.
Butt naked.
Yeah.
And run real
That's
fast.
what I wasn't doing right. Okay.
Come at me, bro. I'm on the list.
Yeah.
Kraven the Hunter is the visceral story about how and why one of Marvel's most iconic villains came to be. Directed by J.C. Chandor, I want to say, from All Is Lost, Triple Frontier. Screenplay by Steve Ditko, Matt Holloway, and Stan Lee. So Stan Lee and Ditko getting some love here. Starring Aaron Taylor Johnson as Sergei Kravinoff. Russell Crowe is an unknown new character. Ariana DeBose, Calypso. Christopher Abbott, the Foreigner, is playing the Foreigner, and Alessandro Nivola as the Rhino. We get a little glimpse of the Rhino, maybe.
I think Russell's playing his dad. I was doing a little research on like Google. It has his character's name listed, so I don't know how accurate that is. But.
Aaron Taylor Johnson is front runner so far for Bond.
What?
Oh, really?
What? Very heavy rumors around Aaron Taylor Johnson.
What?
Really? I don't know how I feel about that. Is he British?
No. Oh, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Well, he was born in the UK.
Was he?
I didn't know that.
Oh, maybe he is. Maybe he is. Oh, well, actually, no, that would make sense because all Bonds have been
Irish. Yeah.
No, then
That's
sorry, I think he is. Hold on, let me check. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
It needs to be Henry Cavill. He's not.
No, you're right. Yeah. Sorry, he is. He's
not...
British, born in Buckinghamshire. How cute. But there you go. But yeah, he's definitely one of the front runners for Bond. Apparently, very high big rumors for him. Henry Cavill, not so many rumors anymore because they reckon he's too old now.
He's a little. Yeah, he's a
well,
little.
Idris Elba could do. I mean,
Idris Elba would never do
just
Bond.
a number. If Tom
That'd be
Cruise
like
can jump off a
Bond.
cliff on a motorcycle.
Yeah, but I'd like Idris Elba made such a great point because obviously there was this massive controversy around having a person of color as Bond. And they were saying to Idra, because I'm very sure Idra has probably been offered that before. And he's been like, no, it's never been offered. Sure, it hasn't. But I feel like he made a really good point, and he was just like, why not just make a really good character? Like, why put us into Bond? Like, why wouldn't you just make a really cool fucking character that isn't Bond? Like, why do we have to fit there? And then there was this whole thing about Jane Bond. And they're like, why don't you just write a really cool woman character and make them a movie star? Why does it have to be Bond? It makes sense.
Yeah.
I totally agree. He's like, why would you? Yeah. He's like, why would you step? Because you'll step themselves into a culture and a history that will just garner a lot of like, what do you call it? Like aggression, I guess, towards them in the first place. You're just like, write fucking cool characters for people of color and women.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That makes fucking sense, Idris.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That makes sense.
Which they've tried to do a lot. I mean, between
look, they've
it seems
done
like every other
a
day
great
now,
job.
there's another female-led action movie. Like what did I just saw a trailer for one the other day with Gal Gadot as like another like super spy.
Oh yeah, it's
Amazing.
another Netflix.
But I mean, even in the most recent Bond,
You know.
in like Time to Die or No Time to Die, they had made a
Yeah.
007 who was a person of color and female, and I was like, this is the best outcome. Like, this is the best way to do that. You can keep 007, just remove the Bond. If you're going to replace them with other actors like that, like if you're going to take that route. I actually think that was a really good route. I loved that they did that.
It was a clever way to kind of like say like the 007 is just a a signature, not like a person, right?
Yeah.
Like
It's just a number.
It's an assignment, right?
Yeah.
Like anybody could be 007, but only one person could be Bond, or not like only someone could be James Bond, but anybody could be 007. Right? So that was an interesting way of handling that and showing that in a way. But I agree. Like there's plenty of great, awesome future Bond type movies that could be made that don't have to be James Bond, where you have to reinvent
because ultimately
the person,
Bond is so problematic as well. I'm kind of like, just create a better character. Like his actual like James Bond actually as a character is so problematic. And then it has been throughout the years of like how it's been written since the 60s. So
yeah, sure. I mean, if you're gonna make, how many are there? 15 Bonds? You're never gonna make 15 amazing. No, there's 20. Yeah, there's
25
there's a
films.
25 films. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I should know that. Yeah, you
Something
might be
like
right.
that. Yeah.
Like you make 25 of anything, like a good half of those are gonna be garbage, right? Not garbage, but like not hit the mark, right? Yeah, I mean,
Calm down,
listen,
chat.
Your Majesty's Secret Service isn't exactly.
Hey, he
the
did his
greatest.
best, okay? George Lazenby did his best.
Is it Lazenby?
tried.
Or
Lazenby,
Lazenby?
George Lazenby did Her Majesty's Secret Service,
Lazenby?
and that
yeah.
was such a you know what a film.
It has it. There's some interesting. Narrative choices.
Some interesting
made in that one.
choices. You know what though? He did actually do his best. I kind of felt bad for him.
Totally, you can actually see somebody doing work there.
Yeah.
I don't have any. I don't. If you're a fan, you watch it and you're like, okay, this was a moment, and then we moved on.
It happened.
And
Yeah.
We got The Living Daylights, which is one of the better ones.
Yeah.
So there we go.
One of the best ones.
Why don't we
Sorry,
we get off on James Bond? What
It's
a
because
tangent we just made.
Oh,
because
'cause
Taylor
he's in
Johnson.
talks.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's right. Jesus. You can't even get to people are like, just watch the goddamn Kraven trailer already.
Sorry.
That's my fault. That's
Tangents.
my fault. All right. Okay. I'll push play in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh.
He's got pea eyes.
Oh.
His eyes are all yellow. Like he's got
No.
What is that condition where you can't pee and your eyes get yellow?
Oh, I thought he was a werewolf. I was like, wow. Oh my.
But he
Oh,
just
yeah,
jumped
you
through
know,
that window.
you could have used the stairs, but that's okay.
Okay.
Sir.
You know, I see the Bond potential right there. Yeah. The fucking stunts he was just doing, are you
Right
kidding?
I mean, I've never seen Bond run on all fours and jump out of a whatever.
Maybe we should.
Oh.
I like Russell Crowe's scarf.
Power is about strength.
It's beautiful. Like the setting and the lighting change for the past.
Give our enemies an opening.
Oh my. Oh no. Don't cut the baby.
Shoot.
No.
Oh.
You're not living through that.
Yeah, bye,
you're
friend.
You're not gonna make it.
Like his
See you
mother.
later, dude.
Leave him.
What happened?
That's
Goodness.
harsh.
Okay.
Oh, wait, what?
Oh.
I stared death
Lion
in the
blood?
face,
No, wait.
and for the first time, I saw my true self.
Oh.
That's not how that happens.
They say he uses a connection with animals to track his prey. And once you're on his list, there's only one way off.
There's 6 of us and only one of you.
There's 6 of you now.
Oh my god, he's hot. Like,
Oh my god.
God.
No.
I'm not even mad about it. He's fine.
Puts evil into the world.
Wow.
Not even.
I take it.
Ooh,
Okay.
double tap.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
You are exactly like our father. Just another man hunting for a trophy.
Why is this?
Oh. Pole death. Nice.
Isn't that what he taught us?
You don't get to do
She's
that to me.
beautiful.
Oh,
No. No spiders.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm out.
Oh, hello.
Oh, you're standing in them.
Oh. Oh.
You're a goddamn lunatic.
Oh, you just figured that out now?
I'm so enthralled. Oh, okay.
Huh.
Okay.
Is an animal in each one of us.
Don't you want to know why they call me the Rhino?
Not really, but
Oh, he's got the
sir.
grayscale.
You should probably get that checked out, sir.
Yeah, I think is that a Game of Thrones?
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah, grayscale is Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right, guys. Kraven. He's here, and he's
Hot.
Wow.
Here
Okay,
and
he's
he's hot.
shirtless.
Okay. My
okay.
God.
I'd be fine with
don't-
him being Bond. I'd be okay with that.
Is
That'd
this
be
one of those
fine.
moments where it's like if like whenever like a bad guy's near him, he's just like, hold on, let me rip my shirt off, and then I'll kill you.
Fine with it. What is wrong with that? Are you-
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just sort of like, wow, does he own a shirt in this movie? I don't know.
Marvel
if he does.
always
He
has
doesn't
to
need a
have
shirt.
those
He's a
moments.
beast.
You know.
He's a beast.
Wow.
So Spider-Man's one of Spider-Man's main villains here getting an origin story. Is this the story he deserves or we deserve? How you guys feeling about this trailer? There he goes, and we'll see you next week. Talk to you later.
Amazing how we both did that. Doesn't wait. You know, he seems crazy. Like he's just like, yes, I'm gonna be the biggest hunter, the best hunter in the world. Like Kraven, the actual Kraven, the character. But he's supposed to take like a magical serum, basically, or a mystical serum that will like increase his strength and powers. And in this, they're like, his blood was fused with that of the lion, and that lion was an ancient predator. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like that. What? Why? That's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, no. Why would you? Come on.
I don't know.
That bit I thought was
Yeah.
the worst in the trailer.
little
The
weird.
rest of it, I loved it. How do I get on his list?
So every time this lion bleeds on something, like that thing becomes like a super.
Yeah, what was it? A
superhuman?
radioactive
Like,
lion?
if
It was
it's-
bitten by a
what if it-
radioactive
Yeah.
spider.
Like if
Come on.
say that lion like bled into like a river, he was bleeding and like and then the river flowed into like some town and then everybody drank like a little bit of lion blood. Does everybody become Kraven?
Right. I feel like
I'm just wondering.
I just don't think you know what I thought I think this trailer is missing is like the fact that this is the first kind of appearance we're getting of Kraven the Hunter. This is the first time we're getting this and it's an origin story. Why? We should have him as a villain in a Spider-Man movie and then bring me this film later. Like I want the
Yeah.
interest before I
It doesn't
want to
make
dive into
sense.
this character. Yeah. It just really doesn't make sense. Also, I feel like Kraven the Hunter, like as much as he's like one of the best or one of the most loved Spider-Man villains, his story isn't like super interesting. He wants to be out there to prove himself the greatest hunter in the world, and then he's super honorable and like treats everything with respect, as you should really if you are a hunter. And like that's kind of it.
To his own rules, right? Like he doesn't. It sort of like clouds also his.
Oh right, for
ability to
sure.
kind of,
Like he's a villain. Like it's dark
Right.
and
Yeah.
dark and twisty, and he's biting the necks off people. But I mean, it's kind of like, do we need this film? Probably not. However, seeing Aaron Taylor Johnson in that trailer, maybe I do need to see this film and many more of him. I vouch for Bond. Yeah. Because we all know the Broccoli family watch this. If you listen, Bond, please.
But only if he's shirtless the whole movie.
Yeah.
Bond's always fucking shirtless. It's like a no-brainer. Just hire the man.
Well, he has to come out of the water at some point.
That man is cut and ready from Kraven the Hunter. That would be the easiest deal made. Come on.
He has the right jawline. I don't know if the jawline
Listen,
works for
I
Bond.
think whatever. I think he's got it.
All right, Stephanie, what do you think? Kraven the Hunter.
Well, All in the Game made a good point because I was trying to think this morning. I was like, wasn't Kraven the Hunter supposed to be in a movie? And I thought he was supposed to be like in the second Black Panther, and that's what All in the Game pointed out.
Right.
And I was like, so it is interesting because, but like Pagan, you made a good point, and like I agree. Like I feel like the introduction's a little weird, and also like I love Aaron Taylor Johnson. Like I loved him as, you know, like Quicksilver. Like he was pretty great. Like, and then, you know, that whole thing didn't last long.
Yeah, but he was in Kick-Ass.
So
he was great in Kick-Ass.
So he was great, and
Yeah.
Kick-Ass was great. So I don't know, like it's interesting. Like for me, like I would like for him to have more in the universe, but I don't know what exactly is happening. And like Spider-Man has set up so many things in the past movies recently. Like he could have been in the last one. He could have been another villain. And it's like, who are you? And then, you know, like they could have done something with that. But his character, like I was actually intrigued by the trailer. There was a lot of violence. Didn't care for the biting off of the nose. That was a little like, you know, gruesome. And the spider was like, ooh, that was like, I wouldn't want that to happen to me. Like, poor guy.
Spider death, not a way to go.
But it's so interesting. Like, I don't know. It's kind of interesting too that Russell Crowe is in this as well. Like he was just in like the other Thor movie. Like, so it's kind of interesting that you've got all these other actors kind of coming back in. Like they could have picked, not that Russell Crowe isn't great, but like, you know, they could have picked somebody else or like, I don't know. Like it is interesting that they're recycling actors.
Yeah,
It is also though like really fascinating that we're getting an origin story movie right when the Spider-Man 2 game has been like announced.
Yeah.
We got the extended trailer there, and it obviously included Kraven the Hunter, and I was like, huh, it's interesting. We've never seen him in a game or anything like that before. So now we're getting it. So I feel like that's super timely. That's super timely there, Sony. Yeah, we see what you're we see what you're doing.
Well, it'll be interesting to compare the two, right? And how like
true.
The game treats Kraven, right? Probably
Yeah.
more to the comic book, I would imagine, right? You know, and then because the game seems to lean more into the comic book lore, whereas this is sort of like rewriting the story.
Sure,
a bit.
yes,
Obviously,
yeah.
we can tell with the blood. It's just interesting. It took 10 Spider-Man movies or something like that. I forget how many there've been now. But before we get Kraven, like it seems like they've sort of tapped every.
Yeah, they
Like, 'cause
definitely
considering he's
messed him
actually
out.
one of Spider-Man's best sort of villains, right? You know, he
And the
has
Sinister
hardest-
Six, and I feel
one
like
of-
they've included pretty much everything
Yeah.
in Sinister Six.
And now
right?
we're getting the
Six,
Rhino.
except-
Like
yeah.
we got teased the Rhino at the end of the Amazing
we got teased
Spider-Man 2.
Mecha Rhino. In
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's right.
So it is kind of interesting, like all these characters. So maybe they have something really big planned for this Spider-Man 4 that's in the works. I have no idea.
Well, though, like my big thing here is like with this tone of the movie, like the trailer and everything, tonally, that does not fit with anything that they're doing now with the Spider-Man, like Tom Holland version. So are they going to make a new Spider-Man? Are they getting a different Spider-Man back? Like, where is that going? Because I just don't think. I don't think that would be a good fit at all. Because like tonally, this whole
really?
trailer has been quite serious and has been like he
Well,
is a villain and he's like
yeah.
riding that fine gray line. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I think
it's
it could
interesting.
work. Because like the way the last Spider-Man ended, and like the Peter Parker that he was becoming, like he was leaving behind like the childish years, the high school years,
Yeah, I feel you.
and now he's going off like towards college, so things get a little bit more real and darker. You know, like you've got Venom, like in the Sony confusion of
Yeah, Venom and
you know.
Morbius.
I don't know. I
With-
feel like it would have suited better like an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man rather than a Tom Holland Spider-Man. Nothing against either of the actors. It just
maybe.
seems like they have different vibes. They have different
yeah.
audiences as well.
Yeah, well, let's be clear. This is an R-rated film. This is the first sort of Sony's first R-rated superhero film. Even Morbius wasn't R-rated, and Venom wasn't either. So
Okay, interesting.
so they're really going for like a more mature sort of audience here, in the sense that like, you know, where Marvel has Deadpool, you know, Sony I guess now has of Kraven from an R-rated standpoint. It is interesting. The trailer does seem to me making him out to be very affable, like likable. Like he's definitely like, he doesn't come across as like a villain, right? Like he kind of like, I'm doing this, like it seems like they're really trying really hard to give him reasons. He's doing what he's doing for the right reasons in a way, right? Like he's like, his dad is the real villain, like, and he's sort of like out to like prove himself for his dad, and like everybody he's killing seems to be like soldiers and
Bad guys.
like people that look like bad guys, right? Like he definitely, I don't know, I'm kind of confused here. Are they trying to make him out to be sort of like this anti-hero that we're supposed to root for? But then but I feel like you have to set him up to be actually really almost evil for him to be considered like a villain against Spider-Man, right? Like, or are they planning like a team up later?
I think
don't
though,
know.
like, well, to be fair, he does team up eventually with Spider-Man in some of the spin-offs in the comics and stuff. But
Right,
I think more like, because in the trailer, I was just looking at there, it says like villains aren't born, they're made. So this whole movie seems like it's going to be setting up almost like good perspective. Let's say good perspective, because even though he's doing horrible things, it looks like he's doing horrible things to horrible people. But I think that there will be a twist in the end where there'll be a darkness, or like there'll be a darker ending, and then that will create like a villain. So I think maybe the reason we're getting a lot of the kind of like the gray in the trailer is because they're probably building it up to some kind of ending where he will just like become super evil or a villain or something like that. That's how I feel about it. I also I don't particularly think he came across as like an anti-hero. Like, I don't think he came across well in the trailer either. Like, I don't think he's a super villain or anything, but he he doesn't come across great because of the brutality and the stunts that they've included.
Yeah.
So I think that's why to me, I'm not rooting for him. I'm just watching it happen while he's shirtless.
Yeah, I guess it seems like every it's interesting you speak of like all the like the way he kills people. I mean, he's like he bites a dude's face. We've talked about like you see him impale a dude with a pole.
Yeah.
He shoots a guy with a
Hatchet
giant
straight
crossbow.
down.
Which, by the way, that crossbow, the amount of power a crossbow would have to shoot somebody with an arrow with to drive him backwards and impale him upwards into a wall. I mean, I don't know about the physics of that, but like
that's the physics problem you had in this trailer, Drew. That's the physics problem you had in this trailer.
Hey, listen,
that man be running up walls and
thing.
shit.
Yeah, but they explain that through lion blood. So like,
No,
you gotta put a pin in it
you
somewhere.
shit.
Totally, dude. If I drank lion blood, I'd become badass.
No, that's fair.
I know I would.
No,
Oh,
totally.
I just saw some lovely pyrotechnics in the trailer.
That's why they're in the
We
zoos.
got
Like, that's why the lions are in the zoos. They're protected
they're
from us trying to drink
protected.
their lion blood, which would make us
Drink their
superhero.
blood.
Yeah.
What if there's like a run on like people trying to get a hold of lion blood? Like, I gotta be like as badass as Kraven. Gotta get me some lion
God,
blood.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel
so
like
he can speak to animals and like nature.
Yeah.
You see him control like the eagle and the spiders. Like, what are some like superpowers? You're like, what are some interesting deaths you envision Kraven will ensue upon his victims? And does anything come to mind, or did we get the greatest hits here in the trailer?
I have one. That's kind of like, Indiana Jones kind of level, or not the Indiana Jones, I'm sorry, the Mummy. We saw spiders a lot in the trailer. I don't like it, but the spiders could crawl inside and come out and kill someone, or I don't know, it could be something really gross. Like, I don't know if you can manipulate all that.
Why?
Yeah,
It's
no.
rated R, it's
No, you went into like horror.
Yeah, I feel like
that
you
is-
win. You
that
should
is
be in
terrifying.
horror films or like
Oh,
a horror
maybe.
director or
Wow.
something. Yeah, maybe
it's always the quiet ones.
Biting the nose wasn't enough. No, buddy. I need a more visceral death.
Hmm.
Like, I'm thinking like rip some dude's heart out kind of vibe. Like,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about like
just-
Tucker and Dale, like versus evil, like accidentally falling into like a tree trimmer, or accidentally
He just kills
impaling
people by
themselves on the
accident.
tree, like,
I accidentally
sorry,
bit your nose off.
so sorry.
I want something like those. Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it, but like the cute forest creatures, where like it'll just be some soldiers or whatever, and they're getting smoke, or they're going for like a piece of something, and then it just be
Piss,
like,
yeah.
hello, cute
little
forest
deer.
creature. And you're like, oh hello, little kind of adventure, and then all of a sudden, just like vicious attack
Love
from
it.
this like chinchilla,
Yeah.
and all of his
Oh,
chinchilla
yeah.
friends come out with
Chinchilla.
like little
Yeah.
knives.
Or like
Yeah.
a little cute hamster or something
Yeah.
like that. You
Yeah,
just
yeah,
don't
yeah.
see come. Like a chipmunk.
like
that
Snow
just
White and Shrek.
goes rabid.
Oh,
She's
there's
just
a name
singing
for
and
it. It's
calling.
some, like forest friends, fluffy forest friends. or
Totally.
something? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know the
Yeah,
one.
like
You
this
know the
cute
one.
little blue bird lands on a guy's shoulder and then
Aw,
just pecks his
how
eyes
Right,
out.
that's what I'm
Like a little-
saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just
Yeah.
like I want something like that. That'd be super
Yeah.
sneaky, because that would get me. Like a little chinchilla walking
totally.
around the corner. Oh my god, hello! You're
Absolutely,
so
dude.
soft. I love you so much.
Yeah.
Boom,
I know,
death.
right? I feel like you wouldn't have to do anything if you could
Happy
control
tree friends.
animals.
Thank you,
just,
Maria.
No,
Sorry.
Like, hang back and let the animals do the work.
Yeah.
I mean,
honestly.
Where's the fun in that for him? He is the greatest hunter. He's the beast.
yeah. Well, another thing about Kraven, and I could be wrong here. I pull a lot of my knowledge from like the fucking '80s cartoons. So, but wasn't he always like about like barehanded? Like he never wanted to use weapons, and here he's using like crossbows and poles and swords and.
Some of it though, he is barehanded, but I will say that like he does always seem to have a weapon. Does seem to have a weapon, like a hatchet or something. It's
like really I've got a shot with him with a gun, like.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
He throws a spear and everything. Yeah, he was all about the hand stuff because he's, again, like the greatest hunter. Like he's supposed to be like, I don't need anything, just my pure physical form. And all that stuff. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So it's interesting some of the liberties they're taking.
I feel like he's going after. Oh, sorry.
Oh no! I was just gonna say. I was like, watching it though. I'm like, it does. Like someone brought up like in the chat, if I could scroll up, he's like he looks like the White Panther. You know, it's like he's got the same sort of like physical abilities as Black Panther in the sense. And I was like, oh, that's interesting that you brought that up. But at the same time, I also don't see him. I don't. Just based on the trailer, I'm not like, oh yeah, I feel like Spider-Man could wipe the floor with this dude, right? I don't really get the sense that he's like yet. I don't really feel like him and Spider-Man. He would be an ultimate villain to Spider-Man at this point.
I don't know. I think because of his strength and his cunning, like I think he's probably really smart, and he's like one step ahead. I think that might help, like with the Spider-Man versus Kraven debacle. Like I think that for a good long while, Kraven will be ahead and always one step, further in the planning, because I think he's just thought it all through. But now they're giving him some sort of fucking Spidey lion senses and shit. So I don't know.
He always had that kind of, right? He had like instincts, right? Like
he has like primal instincts, but it was like because of this mythical serum that made him super strong.
It's true. He could kind of do anything.
Not because he could just like feel the beat of a lion's heart or some shit.
I know I can.
That's the only part of the trailer that like bugged me. Everything else, great.
Yeah. It's sort of like this feels like Uncharted. You know what I'm saying? Like it kind of feels like the safe route of entertainment, right? It feels like it's checking the entertainment boxes. I don't feel any sort of like creative like choices here, right? Like any in a way that is sort of like, oh, we're going to do something interesting. Like it feels very like we're putting our cookie cutter stamp, our Sony cookie cutter stamp on this, and it's going to like come out and you're going to have a good time at the box office, but you're not going to walk out being like, holy shit, that was like as good as Across the Spider-Verse, right? You know what I'm saying? Like there's no like creative,
for sure.
Just the way it looks and just the way it's shot and just like some of the narrative choices that they're making. You can kind of see where this is going, right? Like his dad is a dick, right? And dad left him for dead. A lion blood gets him. He's got superpowers, and now he's got to prove himself to the world that he's the greatest hunter, and to his dad. And his dad's not having it. His dad's going to try to kill him. Rhino comes in somewhere, and they're going to fight, but then they team up.
I'm curious to see how everything connects. I feel like he's hunting down his father. I feel like he's hunting down his father's men. Like I feel like there's different people that are different villains that are differently dressed. Some that are more in blue and others that are more in black. And I'm like, okay, so are like those dressed in black? Like, do they work for his dad? And he's killing like his father's men. But then I'm like the Rhino like guy. Like he seems like a scientist. Like he feels like he's kind of like he's working. Like he's hiding as well. Like he seems interesting. I'd like to know more about him and why he decided to take some serum to turn into a rhino. Like,
I think it's
or maybe that's his dad's men. Like his scientist working for his dad.
I can't remember the origin story of Rhino, but it was basically like kind of the Hulk in a way. Like it wasn't intentional that he ended up like that. He was conducting experiments and then eventually ended up as that. And in the trailer, you actually see that he's taking a suppressant for Rhino and he unplugs himself. So like he twists off the drip that is keeping him suppressed, and then he takes that off and then you can see him. So actually his true form would be Rhino.
The Rhino.
It would be Rhino. But I just can't remember how that happened. But I don't know, like Rhino has historically been very dumb. No?
Yeah,
like
totally.
has kind of been dumb in like
sort
cartoons
of like,
and stuff like that as well. Like has been like super just like bullheaded and foolhardy and just like continuously like on a rampage and quite brutal, but has been kind of dumb. So I feel like that's why Kraven would partner up, because he's like, you're not even a threat. So
Right. Yeah.
He wouldn't
I bet it
look
would
to
be fun
hunt
see Rhino
Rhino.
just destroying shit like buildings, like just
Yeah.
plowing through
Just-
shit. Like I mean that would be fun.
Could his father be using the rhino like as like a weapon against Kraven?
Definitely.
Probably.
Dude. Yeah.
You know.
Oh, I mean 100%. Yeah. I mean this feels very like I don't know. Like AI wrote this script. kind of
Yeah.
vibe. Like I don't think they're gonna do any sort of. I don't see any twists and turns.
Right,
on
fair.
No. It reminds me a little bit of Batman too. Like I seek
Yeah.
vengeance. Like.
I don't know. I kind of
Yeah.
hope there is a twist only because of the villains aren't born; they are made. Like I kind of hope that like it's not just like, oh, he got like the whole backstory about him and his father, and like when he got like eaten by the lion, like that's the backstory, and that's when he was made a villain. I'm hoping that that's just like a cliche thing we were all thinking watching the trailer, and then there's
Yeah.
gonna be something that happens in the movie that does actually make him a villain.
I hate it. I don't hate it. I guess I've yet to see a really good villain backstory where they try to like, oh, he was once a good person. Like, it's like I'm always like, no, he's more interesting as a villain, and then the nuance that he can play it. If someone can play, like Thanos was great. Like Thanos
Right.
did good work.
Yeah.
It gave a little bit of sense of like he has his reasonings. He doesn't think himself as the villain. He thinks of himself as the savior of the
Right.
of the universe, right? And so like you see the nuance through like his softness and how he speaks and his calculated like there's the performance gave away that like I don't need to see his past and how he was a kid and had a mom and dad, like you know what I'm saying, like I don't need that. Like he's more interesting as a villain than he is as a good guy first, or like a good-hearted person that turned evil. Like I just
But that's what
I've
we're
yet to see
saying.
that story being told.
Like that's what we're saying. Like maybe they should have introduced him as a villain in something
I
else
agree.
first before we're given this origin story. I feel like the origin story is unwarranted. It's not a payoff for something we've invested in. It's just something they're slapping on the table.
Yeah,
It's kind of like what Black Widow was. Like Black Widow was one of those things. Like we had wanted it for so long, like something with her, and then we finally got it. But then it's like,
yeah. Why?
Okay.
you didn't need it when it came out.
You didn't
Like,
need it, yeah.
It was unnecessary.
No.
Yeah. So it didn't do anything like to
No.
like give us more of her character, right? It didn't.
no,
Interesting.
it just gave
provide
Florence
any
Pugh
nuance.
a platform within
A
the
platform.
universe.
Yeah, you're right.
And
yeah.
thank God for that. Okay.
Yes.
Florence Pugh
Yes.
is a
We're
national
thankful for that.
treasure, an international
Yes.
treasure, and must be protected.
Yes.
So good.
Yes.
At all costs.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're running a little behind on time, so I
right,
mean,
no
in
worries.
real quick predictions. What do you think? Is this going to be a mixed bag? Is this more Morbius or more Far From Home?
Oh.
I don't think it'll be Far From Home because of the hype around Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But I don't think it will be a Morbius flop.
Okay.
No. I think it'll do mediocre. Like I feel like Morbius was such like a unique experience. Like I feel like this, just based off the trailer, it looks promising. So I'm hoping it keeps up to that within the film.
I also think that like Aaron Taylor Johnson really holds his own and has like his
Yeah.
own audience, his own respect. So I think that he will carry it. Also like big names like Russell Crowe as well, of course. But I just think that him in the title role, like Kick-Ass was an incredible hit. He's got a big fandom. Like he is rumored for Bond. So I think people will have a general interest in this. Like tied with the fact that the game is coming out, will also have Kraven in it. People will want to see that too. So I think it will definitely be a hit, just probably not as big as Far From Home because of like it's Spider-Man, right? So like
Yeah.
kids aren't going around dressing up as Kraven. So
No.
yeah. Although maybe
Not
after
yet.
this.
Yeah, maybe.
Not
yeah,
yet.
Nana Nerd Studio asked, "Is Kraven movie part of the MCU?" So technically, it's part of the Marvel universe, but it's a Sony-led project,
It's the
right?
Sony
Like, so
Cinematic Universe, not
Sony
Marvel
yes,
Cinematic.
they're
Yes.
kind of calling it the Spider-Verse, like the Spider Universe, because it all
Right.
kind of like all the characters sort of attached to, like, so Morbius, Venom. I forget what else is coming down the line. That they've announced sort of more films.
Blades.
Yeah.
No, Blades.
Well,
MCU.
Blade's Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it not
Blade's
going to be?
fully
Is the new
Marvel.
one not Sony one? No. Oh, okay.
I don't think so. I don't
Oh,
think
okay,
so.
sorry.
So yeah, so like this is it technically though they can bleed it into the MCU, right? But I don't see any of that here. Like even the tone, like Sony's films have a look, right? Like they
Right,
all sort
yeah.
of look like this, right? Like cinematically, like they all
Yeah,
sort
sure.
of have this, which is fine. But you can also expect a certain, I guess, in a sense, quality from that too. I don't know why. I just feel like Marvel takes more interesting narrative choices, right? Like they all, like when you look at like Captain America, Winter Soldier, right? That felt like a spy thriller, right? You know, like they kind of, or if you look at, I don't know. I'm I'm blanking on Marvel movies. I don't know why there's a million of them, but like they all sort of like take like a different approach to like the story they're trying to tell, like in the sense like, hey, we're gonna apply like the spy thriller to this look and feel, right? And how this narrative plays out. I haven't seen Sony sort of take that nuance yet, so we'll see. All right, cool. But I think it'll probably hit middle of the road too. I'm kind of with you guys. I think it'll make its money, but I don't think it'll be like a super smash hit.
I would go see it though. I mean, I'm not sold on the story, but I would go see it for science.
Yes,
for science. I just want to get a hands on some of that lion blood. You know,
like I just need to go for the science.
Lion blood action. All right, one last trailer. We're gonna jump right into.
Let's go.
The surprise trailer: Squirrel with a gun.
I don't know anything about this. All right.
It's a game. It's a video game, guys. So just.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So 3, 2, 1, play. Okay, a video game, you say? I'm excited. I love games. Gamers
it's
to
loud.
gaming. Oh my goodness, that's Squirrel.
Oh, it's so loud. Oh my god.
Squirrel.
Yes.
Experimented on.
No god.
Like,
sir, what are you doing?
I've been sent to murder.
Is this game on PS3?
What's going on? Right? The graphics aren't exactly.
Run.
It's a style choice.
Oh no! Oh man.
Dude,
stop
watch where
it.
you're going.
Stop it.
Yes,
is he gonna pick up the gun?
Do it. You've been chosen.
I mean,
look at him make the choice. Look at his little face. Oh my god.
Look at you, baby.
Should I pick up this gun?
Yes.
If it's an FPS, I guarantee it is it?
Am I gonna pick up?
Do it.
It's an FPS.
Yes. Yeah, we're so cute.
Is that the whole trailer?
No.
Oh, okay. That would have been funny.
Oh my god. This is.
Oh my
genius.
god, the MTS
You can wear a little eye patch. Yes. So run. He's got a little sweater. Oh no, sir. Oh.
An Uzi.
Oh, that's an interesting mechanic. Oh yes.
Amazing.
Go, buddy, go. Oh, it's too big for you, buddy. I don't know. Okay, you got it. This theme song. Oh my god.
Theme song is fun. Like this is fucking amazing.
It's a squirrel with
yeah.
a gun.
Oh
Oh
my God,
man,
squirrel
a
with a
brick?
It's pretty deadly with that brick.
Yes, little buddy. Aw, it's a sad birthday for this man.
Holy shit, that suit is
Look at
awesome.
you, look at
That
him.
little green hazmat suit is the best. Or the bomb suit.
What is this
Listening
song?
to the
I
song
love
is
it.
so good.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Oh my
Go,
god,
buddy,
Matrix,
go.
Matrix. Stop.
oh my god.
What is this game?
I don't know, but it
With
might be
a
the greatest
gun.
game ever made.
It's yes.
Yes.
Agreed.
Go, buddy, go. Yes. Who needs James Bond when you have Squirrel with a gun?
Wow, how on form. Like, how on brand. Wow.
Oh my god. The gun's so big. for
Played
him
by
to hold.
Keanu
about
Reeves.
Bond.
No, not really.
Played by Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
That would be.
That would be fucking
would be a
amazing,
nice
though.
twist.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you find
Alright.
this?
I mean,
What?
listen,
What
you go-
algorithm
you go
do you
deep-
have?
You go deep enough on the internet, you'll find just about anything. No, I mean, this kind of, it's not viral. I wouldn't say it went viral, but it's definitely a lot of chatter online about this just because of its premise.
Amazing.
But I mean, I don't know. Is this something you guys? Daniel D'Entremont is you can only play this on Steam. It's not out yet.
Okay.
The release date's TBD.
Daniel D'Entremont.
It's from what I understand, it's his first game.
What a legend!
What a legend, right?
Sir, you are
Absolutely.
starting off with a bang. I
What
don't know
a
how you spell
legend!
his
Create a
name.
viral game with like Bond references.
Theme music.
Yeah.
Oh
like a oh god, what is it called? A parody for a fucking squirrel with a gun. That is amazing. What a game developer, man. That game is going to pop off on stream, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I can see so many people streaming that game. That looks like so much fun.
Totally. Yeah.
Listen, I don't have like a gaming console, but if somebody gave me a console and gave me this game, I would gladly play. It would probably take 5 years for me to finish the game. But
5 years? Yeah. I don't know.
Well, it's on Steam. It's going to be on Steam, so you can actually play it on a computer.
Yeah,
we don't know whether or not. I presume it's coming just to PC or Mac. Is it just coming to PC?
On Steam,
Probably.
I think it just lists Windows as the operating
it usually
system.
is.
You
But
can,
it
you
could
can
be
split
Mac
your
later on.
operating system on Mac. But,
You can,
we'll find a way,
and
Stephanie.
I might.
We'll make it work.
Yeah, I feel like you
just to play
should.
this game.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, think of the brainstorm here. Like, so you say you're Daniel D'Antremont, and you're like, I got an idea. I'm gonna do squirrel with a gun. But okay, why a squirrel? Like, why not like a raccoon or like a pug?
No,
I mean-
Piper with the gun.
I mean, is there a cinematic universe here, or like the game universe where we get a game with like a tiny raccoon running around with a gun?
I mean, maybe, but I
yes.
feel like squirrels look like liquid. No, like when they run,
I don't know what that means.
like they're so
Yeah, with the tail,
fluid.
yeah.
Like they're just such
Yeah,
fluid
yeah.
things. But I think because they're so agile and super cute that this made sense. Because like he's jumping up and down on buildings and stuff. Like he's using like the umbrellas and stuff like that to get up on buildings. I just think that because he's so small and agile, it makes sense. Maybe I'm
No.
tripping. It makes sense to you that it's a squirrel to
maybe.
me.
Right, like he needs the big tail in order to sort of like help him balance the gun.
Yeah.
Right.
Like from an aesthetic standpoint, you got this gun, but you have a tail to kind of offset you. You know,
Also,
maybe
he's
I'm
super
thinking.
cute.
And I love that you run around and
Look at
collect
him.
nuts. Like
Dude.
you're collecting
Oh, yeah.
acorns.
Yeah,
like,
little
that is
acorns.
so cute.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. I just want to
Yeah.
know his backstory. I want to know how he ended up in that facility.
Right.
You know, I want to know what is his story? What's that cute little
So
guy's
good.
story?
And obviously, I mean, it's still. This is probably still a ways out. I'm assuming, just based on the virality of this, I'm sure he's now sort of like, okay, now I gotta like
Pump
put a
this
little
out.
bit more effort,
Yeah.
pump this out, and get a little more.
I don't know.
effort
You could
into it.
release it as is, and I would be fine with it.
You know what
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
giving me? This is giving me Goat Simulator vibes.
Yeah,
Oh,
totally. Yeah,
Totally
yeah,
Goat
yeah.
Simulator vibes. I mean, like it's like not the same game at all in physics and everything, but it feels like a game like that.
Yeah.
Super fun.
No, totally. Yeah, and I'm wondering too, like if this is like something does this have like a lot of play time, right? Like someone in the chat's like, this looks really fun for like 5 to 10 hours, and then like never again.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
good point.
That is a worry,
That's a
right?
good
That is a
point.
worry. That is a worry, right?
I think if you could play with friends, if it became like something where like you could
squirrel
do
versus
co-ops, like I feel
Yeah.
like that would be fun.
But I
Yeah.
also don't
But-
imagine this game will be very long. I think this
No.
will be
Yeah.
a relatively short game. Like, what are the short games now?
Yeah.
4 hours, 3 hours?
Yeah,
I think it'll be a
like
4-hour
Stray
game. Like,
kind of game.
he'll just
yeah.
know. I think there's a really good cutoff point with those kinds of games. It will be played on stream. If he makes it short enough, it's a winner. I think that, like, because people will invest the 3 hours or whatever, like the bigger streamers specifically, if this is going to go viral. It's just, I think it's great. I think it looks so much fun. It's such a unique idea. It's such a unique idea because of how, like, the physics work with the blowback on the gun and like the effects that he's like pushed back, but he uses it to open doors. Like, they're practical. They're not just for shooting enemies. They're also to get up
Totally.
on roofs and to like
on
open
roof-
doors and stuff.
Or to jump over platforms, like he uses like the
What
gun
a little
to shoot.
genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What a
I
little
can't wait for the unlimited ammo unlock. That
Oh
way I
my
could just
gosh,
shoot around
yes.
everywhere. And,
I assume it
Yes.
has to be an unlimited ammo. I didn't see any heads-up display either, so I assume like
Yeah.
we also have infinite life. I'm hoping. Like they had bars, right? They had like little green and white bars next to them when you're like in the
Yeah.
rooms shooting with them, like just here. But I didn't see anything on like his little heads-up display. So I'm assuming infinite life, infinite ammo,
ammo.
just having the crap,
Infin-
like literally
infinite
Ghost Simulator
kills.
vial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just based on that, like, what's your, like, if you're playing this game, what's your anticipated body count by death by squirrel?
600.
Go. Six. Yes.
I'm killing everybody.
600 is the right answer. I don't
No
know.
one will
I
stay
don't know why,
alive.
but that
Even the
sounds
guy
right.
with the birthday cake. You know what? Maybe the guy with the birthday cake.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, at what point are you like, you know what? I'll let you live. No,
You know what? I'll let
actually,
you live. I am a psychotic squirrel with a gun, but I will take
Right.
pity
I will
on you,
let you
sir. If you give me
I
some of
feel
your
like they
cake.
did-
If there's no cake involved, then you're
man.
dead. So.
Yeah, I feel like there needs to be like a body count, like board somewhere, like online. Be like, how many deaths by squirrel have you accumulated?
Just amazing.
Squirrel deaths.
I just love like
Man.
the variety as well. Like there's different guns. There's like little bombs, there's grenades. There's landmines.
Dude, when he's in
And
that little
you've got
bomb outfit
clothes.
carrying
I
that
know,
mine,
right?
it's the greatest thing
So cute.
That's
And
so
there's
good.
stealth, like he's running through the hedges. Very
There's
stealthily,
stealth,
like
yeah,
trying not to be
yeah.
spotted, and then he throws a brick. I love that.
Yeah.
That's
Is
very
this the-
that's like
is
a
this-
Last of Us reference, right? With throwing the brick.
Or Metal Gear.
Or Metal Gear,
Last of
yeah.
Us,
There's
yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
Metal
yeah.
Gear references in here. A lot of James
Yeah,
Bond
is
references.
this the Metal Gear game we didn't know we needed? Maybe.
Oh my god,
Solid
you're right.
Squirrel.
I need that
Solid
theme song
squirrel.
though. I need that theme song. I need that soundtrack.
Squirrel, please.
Squirrel, no!
Please. Oh my god, please somebody add that in. If you die, it'd just be
I
like.
hope he has a codex, like you like beep beep beep, and you can like, but he actually just calls his other squirrel friends.
Yeah,
they
and
all
it's just gibberish, like
and they don't really.
the
Oh
they-
Animal
my
Crossing
God.
gibberish.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, if this basically isn't just like Metal Gear, I'm quit. I quit now. I
love
just need
this
it.
game.
I need a squirrel Metal Gear, and if this doesn't satisfy that need, listen, I'm gonna
You're gonna write a strongly
I'm gonna-
worded letter, is what you'll
Well,
do.
exactly. I will write a tweet. It'll be the full 240
Nice.
characters,
Yes.
and it will be in all caps, bitches.
I feel the scathing from that tweet already. Yeah, I feel it.
Right, that's right. Maybe an exclamation point or 7. Who knows? But it's happening. Well, that's all we got, guys. Squirrel with a gun. There's not really much else
Brilliant.
to say. It's coming, and it's
great.
going to be on Steam. You can wishlist it now. Do Daniel some love. Wishlist that shit, and maybe he will
Nice.
get some dev money and make this the Metal Gear game we desperately need.
Yeah.
Hit up
maybe
Kojima. Like,
Yeah.
let's partner up.
yeah.
He missed the
Yeah,
opportunity
Kojima
to,
definitely
though.
needs to like. give
Kojima
his,
would
like,
play
sign on
this
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and with all his free time with making movies and
Yeah, he's
streaming
loads
sequels.
of free time. He lives on a different
Yeah.
planet. He's got like 50 hours in the day.
Totally. Yeah, he doesn't sleep.
No.
That man. We are out of time. We're not going to do what we recorded this week, but next week we will hopefully pick that up, and maybe PJ will be back. I mean, did we miss him? I don't know.
PJ.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't come back ever. We'll
He
see.
missed a Marvel trailer. We should have saved this for when
That's
he came
true. We should.
back.
Well, I mean, and this was kind of a Marvel trailer, another superhero.
True.
So he probably didn't really miss anything.
We'll
And
just
then
do like
it was
a catch up with PJ, and then we'll show him the trailers.
Yes.
Just for the shits and gigs.
just sit him down, tie him to a chair.
Yeah.
You need to
Yes.
watch these.
In fact, we'll just show him the entire Trailer Talk streams.
Oh yes, perfect. perfect.
PJ
That'll be the show
reacts.
next week.
Trailer
PJ
Talk
reacts to what he
to
missed.
watching us
Perfect.
react to trailers. Fuck.
I would fucking watch that. Give him a bottle of wine. Let's put that up on Circle,
Yes.
exclusive for members or something. That would be
You
funny.
give him a bottle of
That'd be-
wine, he'll go down like it'll be 5 minutes of him watching Trailer Talk, and then he'll be like, I need to Google something on YouTube, and then it'll end up being like ancient aliens with PJ
Yes.
watching like
Yes.
how the pyramids were built by aliens, and he's like,
Perfect.
see, I knew it, and I'll be like, what the fuck? What
I
did this
want
turn
it.
into? Well, that's it, guys. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Pagan, for joining us today. This was a good one. I think we got down to the. I think we solved a lot of problems today. We now know what Kraven. We basically understand that movie. I don't
We
even
know
if
what
need to
Aaron
see it
Taylor Johnson looks like without a shirt.
without a shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Good
solve that
news.
mystery
Sitting on a
It's
throne.
great.
in the
Beautiful.
world.
Yes.
I mean, that thirst trap is coming.
And then we have the
we
other
know-
thirst trap with the squirrel with the gun. I mean, what a hottie.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, sign me up. Send me the poster, the pinup.
Am I a
Yes.
furry now? Who knows?
just a little.
Look at his cute tail.
That cosplay is coming to a con near you, folks.
Fucking wood.
I don't know where you'd find a giant gun, but that would be pretty amazing.
I can make it out of
Cosplay.
polystyrene or something. It'd be fun.
Make it out of pasta? Is that what you just said?
Polystyrene.
Oh, it's like, holy shit.
Just go to
Are
America.
you a
I'm sure you
magician
have
with
one.
pasta?
Yeah.
That's a lot of hot glue.
A lot of pasta.
Anyway,
Commit to the bit. I'll make it out of macaroni.
make it out of macaroni.
Just line them all up.
Yes.
Do it with angel hair. It'll take you like 1,000 years.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, next week we'll be back. Until then, you can watch this episode wherever you listen to podcasts or on YouTube or as well on CouchSoup.com, which is our hub where you can hang out, read new articles, and you can join our little community. If you sign up, it's free, or you can pay if you want to support our little channel and our little everything we do here. That would be amazing, and thank you. If you are a paying subscriber, thank you very much. What you do kind of supports the things we do. So thank you for that. We'll be back. Pagan, are you going live this week on Screen? Not Screen Smash, but on Cracked?
I did not plan to, but we could. Leave it with me. I will see, because there was a suggestion, and I just need to see if it is downloadable for me or not.
Yes.
But possibly.
All the screams come.
Stay
for the
tuned on
screams.
the CouchSoup Twitter page. I think that'll probably be the best way to know if we're going live with a new game, or if we're just going to go like play some Cult of the Lamb and just do a community stream. Like, keep posted.
Okay. And then Screen Smash aired on Twitch last night, but you can catch it on CouchSoup Thursday or on YouTube on Friday. So with that, we will leave you and say sayonara and goodbye.
Bye,
and
everybody.
leave you.
So long. Farewell.
Listen for the chains.
Yeah,
is
the
all I have to
chains
say.
in The
The
Fugitive.
chains, man.
Good
Yes.
luck.
The shackles.
We're not
Clang,
responsible
clang,
for
clang.
any neighbor complaints you may have when you turn up the volume
No,
to The
just,
Fugitive.
but the volume all the way.
No.
Make sure it's primo, like almost distorted. Just
Nice.
blow it
Yes.
out. Listen for the chains.
Why not? Because they need to hear them too.
Yes.
That's important.
Your neighbors.
Sharing
Your
is caring.
neighbors.
Bye, everybody.
And bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.